Hello, welcome to Ty Slim Vlogs. I'm just finishing up the part 2 edit of the vintage jet ski revival. We get it running today in this video, and if you want to skip ahead to the fire where I almost burned down the garage, you can do that if you want. It's at about 12 minutes 30 seconds. I'll put a chapter in for that, but if you do that, you should subscribe to my channel since you're a cheater. I start out the video with a little bit of a carb clean and just a voiceover, so if you want to watch that, go ahead. Well, come on, enjoy. Okay, everybody, I'm just going to voice over here while I tear apart this carburetor and explain a little bit about it. This is a Mikuni 46mm carburetor, and you can see right here there's 4 10mm bolts holding these on at the top, and I'm going to take them out. I only have 3 in it. I need to find another one, and I also need to find some type of air cleaner or spark arrestor for it. Now I'm removing the either high speed or low speed screw. You want to count the screws turns out when you remove it, but typically you just install them and you start with about 1.5 turns out is the baseline. Now next up, I'm going to start working on the fuel pump diaphragm here. You can see that there's 4 Phillips head screws, and if you don't know about Japanese JIS screwdrivers, you should get yourself a set. Since this is a Japanese screwdriver, the Japanese screws are actually built a little bit different, and if you get yourself a JIS standard screwdrivers, they come out a lot better and a lot easier. You can just see that it takes a couple taps here. I don't really want to break it out too much, but I mean, there's some real chunky fuel in there, and this diaphragm doesn't look good. So I'm going to be very careful when I remove it because I'm not replacing it for right now. I'm just going to make sure I don't puncture it and then reinstall. As you can see, there is a lot of corrosion in there, and I'm going to pick up this and just look at all that area. The needle, it's all corroded. Just kind of picking away some of the corrosion and filth right now. So the needle and seat are actually free, which I was pleased, but everything else I need to brush it off, and I'm actually going to spray some PB Blaster in there just to kind of loosen up all these screws before we get going. Now it's time for a healthy drink of PB Blaster just to kind of let it soak through all the orifices and loosen up some of these screws, and hopefully they come out. I'm going to start with these 2 screws. I believe it's in the metering block, and they are tight and stainless, but they came out real nice. Now if I didn't have that JIS screwdriver, I might have stripped them. The screwdrivers I use, the brand is Vessel. I mean, I got them on Amazon. I really like them. They're actually really good quality. Like if you used a snap-on screwdriver, it might strip them just because the JIS screw head is just slightly different, and it really does make a difference. Now just being super careful with all these gaskets, not to tear them, because they are reusable if you are careful. Now I'm hitting my flathead out, and I am going to just break this jet loose here. And it came right out, little brass, so you just want to be careful. Sometimes they do strip or break, but got this one out. Now I'm going to work on the needle and seat, and as you can see that it was free, and I'm going to try to break the screw loose, and it's not coming out. It is frozen in there. It is now stripped, I'm not going to work on it anymore since it is free, and I did actually blow through it. It's sealing for now what it should, and we're just going to act like we didn't see that and hope for the best, because I don't want to drill that screw out or anything yet. Next, we're working on either the high or low speed screw, and just screw it out, count your turns out. Like I said though, you lightly seat them in fully, and then typically just go 1.5 turns out is how I like to set my high or low speed screw. Next area of business we're going to focus on is the fuel inlet side. Just have some diaphragms and such in there, and sometimes I just like to take a paint stick and mark everything, match mark it so you can't put it back improperly. I think these actually do have a detent in them, but so you can, it's dummy proof. You can't put it together incorrectly, but I like to do it just because I don't know sometimes. Now we're gonna take out these 4 screws and then pop this cover off. Now we have some rubber diaphragm covered by plastic, so I just don't really want to disturb that. I blew through the inlet and it actually opens up that flap and fills the air it's supposed to, so I'm just going to be very careful and leave that intact. Now since this has years of corrosion on it, I'm actually using a little brass drift. Brass is really soft and aluminum is brittle, so you don't want to go reefing on it too heavy with anything. So just a few taps and it'll break the seal. And as you can see, these are like double-sided rubber diaphragms in here. I'm just making sure they're all intact. I'm not going to peel them apart too much because I don't want to break them. I'm going to reuse everything and just hope for the best. And carefully, very carefully, I'm using a razor blade. And yes, I was nervous just to break this seal to see what's underneath this rubber diaphragm. Very nervous I was, but you just got to go slow. Now that I got everything scrubbed down, I'm going to hit everything with carburetor cleaner and then blow everything out and blow everything clean with compressed air. So that's the quick and dirty carb clean, and I offer no guarantees or warranty. We'll just see how we get it going here on the cheap. Okay, now it's just time to reassemble. Just do it exactly how you took it apart. I'm just going to speed it up here for redundancy, so we don't get too bored, but just be careful, take your time. Don't torque those screws down crazy, and just be as clean as you can and be as thorough as you can. Lines viewers, welcome back to Jet Ski Revival Part 2. We're going to try to get this thing started today. I cleaned the carb, as you saw. I did a little time lapse of it and did some voiceover. And now we're going to try to start the engine. I got the carburetor hooked up. I got 2 fuel lines hooked up. Just a pulse line to the intake for the fuel pump and a line to a fuel tank. That's it. I don't have the return line on yet because I want to see if it actually is returning and shooting out the carburetor. I just have this kind of janky setup going on right now where this is pre-mixed gas, so I'm not running the oil pump. That's just going to squirt into nowhere for right now. So I'll take you in close, see what we got going on. I think I'm going to pull the spark plugs out just to get the engine cranking over really fast and see if it builds fuel pressure and sucks fuel. Here is the temporary setup. Just got an old outboard can. This is the pickup tube. I just got one line running to the reserve, so it'll pick up from the bottom. And here's the carburetor here. I just have the inlet line on, the pulse line for the fuel pump, and I have the return line with nothing on it, that barb down there, just to see if fuel squirts out. So we'll crank this thing and see if we get any fuel. Guys, do you see that? We got full fuel dribbling out of the carb, so this carb is pumping fuel. So I'm gonna put the spark plugs back on, hold my hand over the choke, and see if it happens. They're just wet with a bunch of crap on them, you know, like there's a bunch of moisture in the cylinders, so need to get that handled. Water or something? Hold up. What's going up? Water. 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 God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was stupid. Well, don't do that, please. Well, that was crazy. I literally almost burnt the house down. Made my eyelashes too. Whew. But I spent like 5 minutes looking for a fire extinguisher before I started this. and I just couldn't find one, so I went without, and that was stupid. So I at least should have got the water hooked up, but I had to do that on a legit fire drill, and that's one way to keep it exciting. Look, I see the fire extinguisher right now. It says it's from '94 though, so it might not work. Anyways, nothing's damaged actually, just the prop coupler shroud is melted a little bit, but still bolted and fine. So other than my eyelashes, if you can see those. So these plugs are just getting so wet from the cylinder because there's so much moisture in there. So I gotta fire it off with a little bit of raw gas or something in the carburetor to just kind of get that cylinder dry, and then we can keep going from there. There we go. I remember this thing being fickle. Well, we're starting to get some fire with some fuel and stuff. Get that cylinder cleaned out and dried out. But now the start switch isn't working. I kind of remember this 20 years ago. Something was going on with the start-stop switch, so it's not starting right now with nothing with the button, so I gotta figure that out. Okay, let me just show you all this work I did for nothing, which I should have done this first. This is like the main fuse box. It's all nice and waterproofed. And this is a fuse, old school fuse. And I just opened that up. It wasn't blown, but I just reattached it. So it just must have got loose a little bit. So that's all there was to that. Very simple fix. Well, next time on part 3, we're going to roll this jet ski over on its side and check out the wear ring. I think that's where most of the brunt of the propulsion issues are coming, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'm Ty Slim. This is Ty Slim Vlogs. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And you know the deal. Stay positive.